In this video, we'll learn how to add images to a website page. If you've already used something like Microsoft Word, then you should already understand the concept of adding an image to your page. But let's make sure we're up to speed on how to do this. Okay, to get started, let's go to Pages and select the About Us page. Below the page title, we see the button called Add Media. Now, this is the primary button for adding images to our page. But before we click Add Media, notice my cursor here. When I click in the content area, the cursor changes positions. Now, this is basic information, but what I want you to realize is wherever your cursor is positioned at, this is where the image will be inserted. So let me just drop my cursor here because I want the image to be initially inserted at the bottom of the page. Okay, so now let's click on the Add Media button. And I have an image on my computer that I want to upload, so I'll click the Upload Files tab. And I'll click the Select Files button, which gives me access to the files on my computer. And I'll click the Sample User Photo and click Open, which begins the upload. Okay, and I'll click Insert into Page. Okay, not bad. But I think I'd rather have the image at the top of the page. And I did that for an example to start at the bottom because I want to demonstrate something here. If I click the photo now and click and drag, watch the cursor. So you can see that we now have a preview of where the image is going to be dropped at. So when I'll just go to the front here, the front of the text, so that's where I want the image to be inserted. I'll release the mouse button and the photo goes to the top. Okay, but I don't particularly like all that white space on the right side of the image. So what I really want is for the text below it that says, "Hello, my name is Richard, blah, blah, blah." I want that to fill the right side of that image. So what we can do is a neat little trick and set the alignment property of the image. So if I click on the image, okay, notice we have some edit buttons here. And for right now, notice these buttons here: no alignment, align right, align center, and align left. And for this example, I want to click the left align button or the align left button. So you see there? So the text now is wrapping around the right side of the image, and this will make the page look a lot cleaner and tighter. And the same goes for other images as well. If I added some other sample images to the bottom of the page, let me make sure my cursor is positioned right. I'll click Add Media, and I want to upload some files, so I'll click the Upload Files tab and select files from my computer. Let's see, let me select 4 sample images here. And in case you're unaware, you can select multiple photos at one time by holding down the control key if you use a Windows computer or the option key if you use a Mac computer. So I'm going to hold down the control key and I'm going to click, click, and click. So now I've got 4 images that I've selected. And I will click Open to start the upload. Okay, so I've got 4 images that are uploaded, which we see, and they're selected here in this bottom taskbar area. And now I'll just click Insert into Page. And notice how by default these images are stacked on top of one another. And if I try to drag an image, say for instance I want to drag this image and align it to the right, watch what happens. Nothing happens actually. And that's because I'm needing to set the alignment property again on these images like we did previously. So let me just, for example, set all these images to align left. Okay, they're all set to align left, but something still doesn't look right, does it? So if I take the cursor position and drop it, okay, now our images are aligned, but I believe you would agree with me, this is not the best way, or shouldn't be the best way, to add this small collection of images. But there is a better way to do this, and that is called inserting a gallery. Now, this is not the same thing as your website's photo gallery, but for the purpose of adding small groups of images, then inserting a gallery is a great page option because it handles image alignment issues a lot more gracefully than what we've just seen here. So let's remove these photos from the page and insert a gallery. Let me click here. Remove. Now, I'm not deleting these photos from the website's media files. I'm just removing them from the page. And let me reset the cursor position up here. Okay, so now let's click on Add Media. And this time, let's click on the Create Gallery link here. Okay, now we see the Create Gallery title on our screen. So let's select these 4 photos and click the Create a New Gallery button. Okay, now we're on an edit screen here for the gallery. This is a intermediate step that allows us to set some options for the gallery before inserting it. And for example, we can drag and drop these images to reorder them. And there's some other options on the right-hand side, some settings, but just to keep it simple here, let's just click on the Insert Gallery button. Now we can see that the images have been neatly organized here on the page. And notice that I didn't have to set the alignment property for these images. I didn't have to drop the cursor position. So this is a very efficient way to organize your page images. Just remember that inserting a gallery on a page should only be done for a small group of images. If you have a large set of images, then I highly recommend that you manage those in your dedicated photo gallery page of your website. And that's about all. Let me show you one other thing. I can't resist showing you this. Here's another way you can manage the layout of your gallery images. So notice how it is right now. I'm going to change a property here called the columns property. If I change this to 2, then look at that. So if I've got 4 images on the page, then you would agree with me that this would probably be the best way to organize these images into a visually appealing layout here. So by setting the columns property, you can change the layout. It affects the layout of your embedded gallery. So, okay, that does it for this lesson, and we've covered some advanced material here. So if you need to go back and rewatch this lesson, then feel free to do so. But if you feel like you're up to speed with what we've covered, then I'll see you in the next video.